Well, g'day, folks. It's Sean here from the Down Under Cruises. Ilana's taking a well-deserved break, so I'll let her have her time off. First of all, let's have a look. Let's go back in the chat. First of all, we had g'day, y'all. Well, that's a bit of a mix. Cruising on the high seas. Rob, I believe. Not only is he the first in the chat, but also it's his special day. Woo! What special day would that be, Rob? You paid off your cruise. You got a pay rise at work. You got the key to the house. I know that it is Mike Donovan's birthday. Oh, wait a minute. It could be your birthday too. Well, guess what? Happy birthday to both Mike and Rob. Yeah. May it be great. A great day for you. Well, it's coming to the end of your birthday here. But hey, you guys are that side of the pond, so happy birthday to you. We've got Michael Ann. Welcome aboard, Michael Ann. Nice to have you here. And guess speak of the devil. G'day, Mike. How are you? Nice to have you back in the land of the live streams again. So everybody's wishing those two a happy birthday. We've got James Catanese. G'day, buddy. How are you? So looking forward to you going on a cruise, mate. You would not believe it. You're going to have an absolute ball. Let me see who else is in the chat. I mean, geez. Same people are chatting backwards and forwards. G'day, Sean. Thank you, Michael Ann. All right. Oh, we got Cruise Vet there. G'day, Cruise Vet. How are you, mate? Welcome aboard. Nice to have you on board. And, and there's the lady, Meg. G'day, Meg. I thought you were going to sleep. Oh, but that's okay, Meg. You can stay. We don't mind. You can stay in the chat. We love you to be here. Well, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple of others who are just watching in the background. Please, if you feel the desire, just send us a message to say g'day, and we'll know who you are and where you are, and we'll come and drag you in. No. Okay, getting on to the topic. So we've had a couple of we've had our group cruise. And we know for a fact that some of the people have gone on back-to-backs, as well as a couple of new cruises booked. So just to keep you up to date with the cruises that we've got going on, in 102 days, Fintastic Studios will be running their group cruise, in which we know that James and his lovely wife Cindy will be partaking. And that will be another Helping Hands for Cruising group cruise. It will be run by Matt and Kimbra, which will be awesome. And guys, I will play a video a little later on to just give you a bit of a heads up on where you're going and what you're doing. But I believe that cruise is going on from the 12th to the 19th, from Tampa out to Cozumel, Belize, Roatan, and one other place. I can't remember the one other place, but Meg will fill me in because she's going to be the Helping Hands for Cruising representative on board that ship that day. And Michael Ann has said it'll be an awesome cruise. That it will. Grand Cayman, that's correct. I knew there was one place I forgot, Grand Cayman as well. But we'll have a look a little later on at that particular cruise. We've also got, in 117 days, Ilana and I and my parents will be going, and my sister and her hubby, and a couple of other people that I know of will be going on the Grand Princess, going from Melbourne to Sydney by a place called Eden. And, okay, now there's a cruise that we are looking at booking fairly soon, as soon as we have all the all our what's his name's itineraries in place. Um, and that will be going out of Sydney, hopefully. Um, and I'm just trying to do the maths on this one because this one will be incredible. We will be having a bucket load of fun on that particular cruise, I can tell you. Let me just see. And um, so we are looking at roughly 766 days till the next Down Under Cruises group cruise, which will take us into January. um, um, this will take us down to January of 2025. That'll be an absolute brilliant time that we could have there, and we're going to be going to all sorts of places, places such as Fiji, hopefully, Vanuatu. We could even be going to New Zealand, amongst other places. So we're just waiting on the itineraries to come out, and everything shall be um, awesome. Now, James has asked a very important question here, and that is, who do we book the Sydney one? Well, James, as soon as we have the itinerary, we will send out the TA who will be handling our cruise. But at this particular point in time, don't jump your gun, because that's like 766 days away. That's like 2 and a bit years. So hang fire, we'll get there shortly. Um, but it is going to be an awesome cruise, and as soon as we get that sorted, you guys will be the second to know, because the first ones will be us. Ha ha ha. Okay, bad joke. Sorry. As Ilana would say, that was a joke. Yeah, okay. In case you guys are wondering, I'm wearing a hoodie. Why am I wearing a hoodie? Well, it's not cold, but this is the only thing I had with the logo, because I've got my work T-shirt on underneath, and so yeah, it'll be a little bit weird for me to have the work T-shirt on because it's not work time, is it? Anyway, what's going on with cruising? So right now, and we've been looking at some of the itineraries that have been going out. Oh, Meg switching between chats. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm assuming you're going between Helping Hands and the Down Under Cruises. So, yep. We've been looking at some of the itineraries, and there's a couple there right now. There's a celebrity Edge ship going out on the 2nd of January. That one is for 14 nights, going out of Sydney and including Fiji and a few places around there. We're looking at close to $3,500 per person for that one. I think that's a bit rich. We're waiting on a couple of the other cruise lines to come out. I know Princess will have a ship out here. I know that we'll have Carnival with a ship out here. So there'll be a few other ships coming in as well. Not only we've got P&O Australia as well, which is quite reasonable. We saw a number of there's a sailing around about that time going out of Sydney at a rate of around about just under $2,000 per person, which makes a lot of difference. But again, you pay for what you get. So we will come up with a good itinerary and a couple of great ships, and we will put that out to you as well. Currently in Australia, if you're sailing out of Australia, you need to be tested, and also it's currently masking, and that's going out through the Carnival all the Carnival ships. So Carnival, Princess, I believe Holland, America doing the same, P&O as well, which is part of the Carnival group. I believe that some of the chat around the US is that some people are complaining that they would like to have the muster drill back the way it was pre-pandemic. Now that's a scary one. We don't want it to be the same as it was pre-pandemic. We quite like the new electronic and 5-second muster drill. It gets us to the fun much quicker and much easier. So there we go. Meg is thanking everybody who was talking to her this evening. Meg has had the most amazingly busy time this weekend, or this last weekend. The issue we had was that we had a Kenny-a-thon. We had a fundraiser to raise funds for a young man by the name of Sir Mr. Kenneth Oakes, and to do some work on his home for him. So the community got together and managed to raise around 10 grand. So that's 10 grand US. So that was absolutely amazing. And we're really proud of the people who were involved in that. And one of the mainstays was this young lady here, Meg, who moderated every single broadcast, every single channel, the whole weekend. Man, I'm still surprised she's awake. I would have expected her to sleep for 3 weeks. But there you go. She's up and around. And thank you, Meg, for thinking of us. Yes, everybody, please hit the thumbs up. And if you're in the background and you haven't yet joined our happy family, please hit that S button, subscribe, and then the thumbs up. It helps the channel. It gets us in the YouTube. What's the word I'm looking for? The YouTube thingamy-bob, dingbat malaria. What you call it? Yes. Anyway, it gets us noticed by everybody out there. So the ship in the background. Anybody guess? All right, I'll tell you. It's the ship in the background. That's what it is. It's the Grand Princess. That's what that ship is. That's the one that we're going with Mom and Dad and my sister and her hubby. And a couple of other people. I believe we've got Burjo and his lovely wife Sue joining us. And possibly a couple of other people that are going to join us. And we're going to be doing Melbourne to Sydney via Eden on that ship. Unfortunately, have not yet experienced her, but you know what? It will be awesome. Sorry, Meg, you didn't get it this time. But if you would have said Princess, I would have been, there you go, there's the Princess insignia. Stream Elements is saying, welcome to the hump day with the Down Under Cruises. Please support our channel so that we can support Helping Hands for Cruising. Well, I'll tell you what, Kenny will tell you exactly what Helping Hands for Cruising did for him on his cruise. And I can tell you now, James is going to be just as fortunate because he will have just as much fun on the shoot. There we go. Thank you, Mike. I knew I could rely on you. Algorithm was the word. YouTube algorithm. There we go. So yes, Kenny will tell you exactly how exciting it was. And there we go. Meg, sorry, bowing out. Scott's calling, hoping it's good news. So do we all, my friend. So do we all. Say g'day to Scott for us. And thanks for being in there. Well, texting is texting. Okay. At any rate, thanks for popping in. And if we don't see you, have a good sleep if you're going to do that. But then Meg never sleeps. She learned from Kenny. Kenny doesn't sleep either. Although he's starting to learn to sleep, which is a good thing. All right. So some of the ships that we're going to be getting here in Oz, I believe, is the Celebrity Edge. We're getting, hang on. There's a better way of doing this. In actual fact, I think I actually, no, I don't. I got it here. Let me just type this in here. There we go. So the Sydney Port Authority says that cruise ship schedules, let me see. We're currently got, I should be able to, currently at the moment in Australia, we've got the Carnival Splendor, which I would imagine would be back in 2025 as well. We've also got the Coral Adventurer, which is, oh, that's an interesting ship. We've got, oh yes, the Coral Adventurer, the Coral Princess. That's the Coral Adventurer. We've got the Pacific Adventurer, which is Carnival, which is the Pacific Adventure is P&O. There's Seabourn, the Pacific Adventure as well, which is also P&O. We've got Seabourn Odyssey, which is Seabourn Cruise Lines. That's currently, and Westerdam, which is Holland America. The Ovation of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean. These are ships that are currently in here right now. But I believe that there is actually a cruise schedule, which is going to be coming out for, and I actually got the list. There we go. Download the timetable in. I will just download that timetable, which is in a PDF format, and that will come in real quick. So that'll tell us what ships we're expecting in January of 2025. And I'll tell you, 2025 currently on the list. Let's go down. 2024, 2024. There we go. Okay. In that first week, we've got in Sydney, we've got we've got the Celebrity Edge, we've got the Europa, which is a TUI cruise. We've got Vision of the Seas, which is a Royal Caribbean ship. The Discovery Princess, which of course is Princess Cruises. We've got the Queen Elizabeth, which is a Cunard line. The Westerdam, which is going to be in White Bay, and that's from Holland America. We've got Azamara Pursuit, which is from the Azamara, the new owners, Leisure something or other. Carnival Splendor, which is also going to be out at the overseas passenger terminal, which is part of Carnival, obviously. Pacific Adventure, which is P&O. Queen Elizabeth is coming in as well. We had her before. We've got Coral Princess, Majestic Princess, the Carnival Splendor, the Resilient Lady, which is going to be actually porting in Melbourne, home porting in Melbourne in 2024. But they're expected to be in Sydney in the second week of January. Again, Vision of the Seas, the Celebrity Edge. So there we go. I've given you a list of all the ships that are going to be there within the first couple of weeks, and they are all confirmed as bookings for the relevant ports or terminals in Sydney. Now, the question is this: what's their itineraries? And so those itineraries we're actually going to be working on. So that is what we're going to have to find out fairly soon. And as soon as we find it, we believe that in the first week of January of this year, the itineraries for 2025 should be coming out. So we're hoping that by January, we will be able to inform you all of the itinerary we're going to be picking for our cruise. So having said that, you know what? There's a bucket load of cruising happening, not only here but around the world. So let me just have a look and see if we can get said video up and playing. Yes, so there we go. We're going to be having an absolute ball. Don't know about everybody else, but I know we are going to be having an absolute, well, we won't be. People like James and Meg and Matt and Kimbra and Paradij and I think Dewey as well. And, well, whole host of people are going to be having an absolute ball at those locations. So if you see your way to actually going on that particular cruise, please, folks, talk to Kimbra from Fantastic Cruising, and they will definitely get you on board that ship. I believe there's still some cabins available. It is the Carnival Pride. It is sailing out of Tampa, and I know you guys are going to have absolute fun. That's going to be March this year, March 12 to 19. So there you go. James is saying that he's almost ready. Need to pack soon, mate. Start packing now. Start packing now. The time goes real quick, I can tell you. So get all your stuff together and get on board. I can tell you it's going to be absolute fun. Another one of our regulars is a guy by the name of Arthur from Arthur's Cruises. Arthur's is in Adelaide. I know he's going to be getting on the Grand Princess out of Adelaide, so that's going to be an awesome cruise. I think that goes Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney as well. Yes, CruiseVet, it is a great itinerary. Why don't you jump on board? I think you're going to have fun. You and James and all the people I mentioned beforehand, it's going to be fun. I know that Paul is going on there because Meg's going on, Paul's going on. And then Troy as well. Troy Stanton is going on there as well. So that's going to be an awesome cruise. Tell you what, you guys are going to have so much fun. So much fun. I don't even know all the people that are going on, but I do know some of the celebrities. You know, like Meg and Paul, those kind of celebrities. Oh, yes, and James and Cindy. They're going to have fun. So, other news that I've heard is that there's been a naming of a couple of cruise ships. We've got some of the big ones that have come out that are starting out of the US. We in Australia are just hoping that we're going to get some of the newer ships come down here for the summer season. And for us, summer starts in a little over 5 hours, or a little under 5 hours, I believe. So, because it's 2026. So we will have summer start on the 1st of December, which is just around the corner. So there we go. Any time that we can actually have fun in the sun and get on a cruise ship is a great time. And we know that, well, there's been a bucket load of people hanging out for cruising to start. And thank God it started. So now we can enjoy. And in actual fact, the main ship that has come in first was the Pacific Adventure, or the Pacific Dawn, I believe it is, which was the original P&O cruise ship that's been around for a little while. So, yeah, James is saying to you, Cruise Vet, be nice, meet you, come on the pride. It will be nice. You go ahead, Cruise Vet, get on that cruise. It's going to be an absolute ball. Aside from all the fantastic people that are going to go on that cruise. You know, Ilana and I wish we could be on that cruise, but again, we spent a bucket load of money coming to the horizon this time round. We need all the time we can get to save money to go on the next cruise in the US. So, but mark my words, we will be in the US sometime soon. It will be awesome to actually meet everybody again. You know, I don't know about you folks, but one of the things that we felt was when we actually went across, we knew people because of this medium. And we were friendly because of this medium. But when we got on the cruise, that's when we really got to know everybody. And that's where it really cemented the relationships. So that was awesome. We've got Cruise Vet saying he'd love to, but he's going on the Allure of the Seas on February the 26th. Kind of close. Yeah, I know. And James, you're right. We will meet soon, my friend. I look forward to that. Even though we meet over the internet, we will. I need a hug. So, you know, I'll get one from both you and Cindy soon. So that'll be awesome. So yes, so I just find that to me there is no better way of having a holiday or a vacation. Because I look at this and I go, okay, what would it cost you to go on a flight somewhere? What would it cost you to go and get a hotel room? Now I can tell you, the cost for our cruise in March in Aussie dollars, we're looking at about $1,000 for the two of us to go on the cruise. Not only that, we've got a couple of $100 to nearly $300 for a hotel room for one night. Then we've got to fly back home again. It all adds up. But if you have a look and you go on a cruise, well, everything's taken care of, really, because what you've got the cost of the cruise covers your accommodation. You can eat as much as you want. There's as much entertainment as you want. You go from place to place and you wake up the next morning in a different place. So you get an advantage to go everywhere. Well, not everywhere. You can't go into the middle of the Sahara Desert on a cruise ship. Although they use the ship of the desert, which is the camel, but then that... Sean, stay on track. Okay, so you can go on any ocean and go from country to country that way and look at it. Now, the way I look at it is this. We go on a cruise. Say, for example, the cruise went from here around New Zealand. It gives you an opportunity to see the places that you would like to spend more time at if you were to do, say, a land vacation at some point. So that's the way I look at things. You know, it's great to get on a ship. It's great to see what goes on the ship and to have the entertainment. But the benefit is, you know, you're covering a bucket load of things. Now, I know that this fine young man, Mr. Nick Bidet, how you going, buddy? This young man, Mr. Nick, is going overseas. He's going to be spending a bucket load of money on a plane ticket. He's going to spend a bucket load of money in accommodation. He's even got the high quality clothing for a particular accommodation that he's going to be staying at. He's going to be tripping all around Europe, and then he's got to spend time with Darian, you know, magnificent Darian with Germany. Yeah, all right. I'm being dyslexic there. The magnificent Germany with Darian. And he's going to be eating this stuff called what spaghetti ice, spaghetti ice. Whatever happened to roo sangers or roo snags or some roo balls or some good old Aussie beer, you know, Forex or Jimbo's. Don't you dare mention the word Foster's and beer in the same words. Oh my God, don't do that to me. Yes. So having fun on board a cruise is just awesome. But one thing Nick does is Nick does do train travel, and for some people that is awesome. I know that there's a few people that would love to spend time doing a cruise. I mean a train trip, and hey, go for it. Yes, Mike, you're fully aware of roo balls. They're actually really good. Kangaroo balls. Oh, Nick's trying haggis. Well, if you Nick, if you tried haggis, you would go for. Okay, I need to show you because you guys are just going to give me a hard time if I don't. No, I won't. I'll let you guys have a hard time. um, let's see if I can get it. Here we go. A couple of gifts and souvenirs that people can have. Um, there we go. There we go. Maybe if this works. If this works, I will give you guys a quick view of what I'm talking about here. These lovely things are fantastic souvenirs that you'll be able to organize when you come on the group cruise. It won't take you long. You'll just have to enjoy what you see. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun time. Take those, give those to people. There's awards there, all sorts of things. So I think you guys are going to have a really, really good time. Um, but please, when you come on in, um, be sure to spend some time in Sydney. Watch the fireworks on New Year's Eve. That's what's going to happen with the group cruise when you come on in. That'll be absolutely awesome. Nick is saying it's definitely on his bucket list someday to ride the Indian Pacific and the GAN passenger trains down under in Australia. Absolutely. Both trains, yes, they are an expensive trip, but the good news is you go from, well, with the GAN, you can go from south to north or vice versa, north to south, because the GAN goes from Darwin to Adelaide and back up again. And then the Indian Pacific goes from Sydney to Perth. So that's a much longer trip, and it goes right across the country through the Nullarbor. So it's going to be an awesome time. Yeah, okay. Michael Ann is having conniptions there. Oh my God, rubles. Yep, that's right. Rubles it is. And then Mike is saying to Meg the pouches we could put dice in. Yep, absolutely. There's a whole lot of things you could do with it. James is saying New Year's Eve is Cindy's birthday. Well, what better way to celebrate a new year than watching the fireworks off Sydney Harbour, and then in a couple of days going on a cruise out of Sydney and going around the South Pacific or even New Zealand or wherever. I reckon that would be absolutely amazing. Now, Michael Ann, laughing out loud, most people I know just use Crown Royal bags. Yeah, we use rubles instead of sporrans. It's a nice way of putting your coins in there. I mean, there's a whole lot of things you could use the rubles for. As you saw, one thing there was as a pen stand, and then there was another one where it was a trophy. And I'm not going to go on anymore. I mean, you guys get the drift, right? Corkscrew holder, a key ring, a back scratcher, a bottle opener, um, corkscrew. I mean, there's a whole host of things that you could use it for. So there we go. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Michael Ann is saying for D&D dice, that is D&D dice. Okay. That might mean, I don't know. Mike is saying that's what we use. That's what you used to use as well. For dice, okay, I get that. The things you can get here. I mean, you could even get a Down Under Cruises T-shirt or a hoodie or something like that. You could even get a boomerang and then throw it at somebody. Hang on a minute. It's going to come back. Oh, I see. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Mike. Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. James is saying Sydney on next cruise. Hope to see you there, Sean. Mate, that would be awesome. If that would happen, that would be awesome. Well, it's a happy birthday to Mike from Nick, and also Nick, if I may say, it's also Rob, who's from Cruising on the High Seas. It's his birthday as well today. It's just Wednesday here, but anyway, we're having fun. Mike is saying thank you to Nick, so there we go. That's cool. Anybody got any other ideas about what they like about cruising, or what they would like to see on a cruise? I know from our point of view on our group cruise, it was great seeing some of the well, there were a number of taste tests going on, and there's another video to go out in the next couple of days from us. Rob has stated that he'd like to do the chef's table. Mate, the chef's table is exciting. It's awesome. Let me say, absolutely awesome. Some of the foods that we had, it was just beautiful. And each cruise line does something a bit different. But you know what? Spending time with people, hanging out, listening to some of the bands play, some of the music, the trivia. Michael Ann says the group cruise was amazing, and there was always someone to hang out with. Yeah, there was. There was always someone like Cookie or Dewey or us, or there was a whole host of things. So, and you know what? In actual fact, Mike doesn't fully understand yet, but this group cruise is partly because of Mike from traveling on the traveling adventures, the adventures of traveling Mike. He is responsible for having created. Well, okay, let me explain. Mike has a channel. It's called The Adventures of Traveling Mike. On that, Mike actually set up a live stream that ran for 24/7, and actually took the record for having the longest fully hosted live stream. And well, we all met on there one way or another, and from there spawned Helping Hands for Cruising, and from there spawned the group cruise, which we had the inaugural cruise, and from there spawned the Kenneth's Kingsport project. So a whole host of things came out of meeting up with Mike. So, mate, It's like a family, you know. You have an ancestor right at the very top who had 2 kids. Those 2 kids had 5 kids each. Those 5 kids each spawned a whole lot more, and there we go. We have mass population. So hopefully, Helping Hands for Cruising will end up with more than just the inaugural cruise, the one that James is going on. We're still thinking that there might be one in September going out of the UK, but we're not quite sure. But then also the Down Under Cruises group cruise, which will be happening in 2025, and whatever group cruises happen in between, that the Helping Hands for Cruising board puts down as a worthy of hosting a recipient. So there we go. Mike is saying thank you, but no, it's true, mate. I don't just say it flippantly. It's true, because if we wouldn't have met you, if we all wouldn't have been on your channel, we wouldn't have met each other, and if we wouldn't have met each other, things wouldn't have snowballed from there. And I can quite honestly say some of my best friends come from this medium. So there we go. Even James is saying thank you, Mike. So there you go. You can't skip out. Rob likes the chef's table. Anybody else got any comments about things that they like to do on a cruise that they'd like to share with everybody? I know for us, it's just being on board ship. I know that Ilana loves it, absolutely loves it. That we go in, we unpack from the suitcase, and then the rest is taken care of by the cruise. So don't have to worry about cooking, don't have to worry about cleaning, don't have to worry about washing up. We can just get on board, do whatever we want, as in sleep, eat, drink, go to see entertainment. Then when the ship goes into port, it's a matter of going off and looking at the different ports, seeing a different place, getting a different experience, then going back onto the ship and eating some more food and going to another place. I mean, it's what better life than just being waited on hand and foot. As much entertainment as you wish. Oh, Michael Ann, the party. Goodness me, party. That's all we did was party. Mike is saying thank you to James. You're welcome. Okay. So, what more can I say? CruiseVets says that he always looks forward to spending time in the hot tub with a tasty beverage and try the different specialty dining. CruiseVet, what's your drink of choice? James is to say soon get on the gangplank. Yeah, okay, to go on board and get and we'll get to me and Cindy. So, in other words, looking forward to actually getting on board the gangplank and just. Well, I'll tell you what, James, you walk on the walkway. Because when you're in Tampa or when you're at any major cruise port, you go through border control to get on board the ship, and then you walk through the walkway, and you're watching the ship as you go onto the walkway, and then you get more and more excited as you take that step over the threshold from the walkway to the ship, and then you realize you're on board a ship. You just cannot believe it. You're on this thing, and you cannot believe that this thing can actually float. No matter how big it is, you just cannot believe that this thing can float. And you go inside, and you are in a totally different world. Everybody's excited. Even the wait staff and the people that are working on board the ship are excited to spend time with you. It's absolutely incredible. Now, Michael Ann is saying that she's got video of me dancing. Well, I'd be really surprised if you didn't. Both Ilana and I dancing, I hope. Yes, well, and then the good news is you're on board the ship. Cruise Vets drink of choice: Miami Vice or a cucumber sunrise. Wow. I tried my first tequila sunrise on board ship. That was nice. Then again, I didn't try enough other drinks. But then, you know what? And this is an important question for you guys. If you are that way inclined, as in lots of alcohol, go for the drinks package. But for us, we both spent, in terms of drinks, a quarter of what the drinks package was for one person. Between the two of us, we drank a quarter of the drinks package for one person for the ship. So you've got to look and say, okay, if you drink a lot, and the drinks package goes to, it's 15 drinks a day, 15 alcoholic drinks. Well, you could have anything like alcohol and coffee and all those sort of things. But when we actually bought the drinks, you know what, they were cheap. At the end of the day, we came out better off paying the standard bar price than if we were to get the drinks package. So it's a matter of choice. As you've got to take a look and say, okay, do I drink a lot? Don't I? And then make that decision on that. So for us on the horizon, that was it. When we're going on board the Grand Princess with my parents, we're probably going to be, and this is a normal thing for us, like just before dinner, Ilana and I will buy, Ilana will have a favorite now is a daiquiri, I believe. She'll get her daiquiri and I'll get my beer or red wine at dinner, and that's it. Or beer, and I'll have a beer before and a red wine at the table. And that's it. By the time we're done, we've spent maybe a couple of $100 rather than the 50 odd bucks or 80 odd bucks per day for the entire cruise. You know, it's neither here nor there. James is saying that they don't drink a lot either, which is good. Rob is saying, or do I just paid it, no, not worry about having a bill at the end and watching how much I'm spending on drinks? You know what? You'd be better off taking, in my case, we just took the drinks package and put it into our onboard credit and used it that way. And when you do it that way, it just makes life so much easier. Cruise Vet is saying that he uses the casino most of the time, so he usually at least gets free drinks in the casino. Sometimes they throw in the drinks package. Well, that's it. For you, that might be a great way. For us, we're not gamblers, so we wouldn't go into the only time we go into the casino is to use it as a thoroughfare to get from one point to the other. So, yeah, like I say, each to their own, you know. Cruise Vet is saying casino offers, that is, we understand that. We understand that. Stream Elements is saying, check out the Helping Hands for Cruising website. Yes, guys, go to there, www.helpinghandsforcruising.org. And on there, you'll see our merch. Anything that you get on with the Helping Hands for Cruising website, if you were to donate to Helping Hands for Cruising, you could do it through the website. You can also see what merchandise we've got, and you can purchase that. All the sales from that, the proceeds go to getting another person on a on a cruise ship. Okay, explain OBC, onboard credit. Okay, so what happens is this, James. When you get on board ship, so there are things that are not included as part of the fare. So, for example, um, all alcoholic drinks are not included as part of your normal fare. So, when you have breakfast in the morning, your orange juice is included as part of your orange juice, as part of your breakfast. Um, Tea and coffee are all included as part of the fare, and depending on the cruise line, soft drinks are included as well. Certain soft drinks. Now, what you can do is you can use um, a set of money, because when we actually go on board, we do not use cash to pay for things. We use our sign and sale card, which I don't have mine here with me right now, but I could next stream I could show you guys what a sign and sale card looks like. And if you go on, say, the Princess cruises, they use a medallion which does the same thing. So now what happens is you put money into I'll say an account, and you can use that onboard credit as an opportunity to purchase various things. So, say for example, you had a photo taken. You could then buy that photo on board ship by using the onboard credit, and that just makes life so much easier. You don't have to carry cash; it's all held within the cruise account, and you can see what's on your account, what you've spent, and what you haven't spent, and it just makes life that much easier. Well, late as usual. It's not fashionable to be late, Mr. Philip. How was your recent cruise? Did you just get back from a cruise, or are you just about to go on another cruise? Um, anyway, so onboard credit is money that you put on board the ship, and once you've got it on board there, you can then spend it for various things. You might go to an upcharged restaurant. So, for example, on the Pride, I believe that you will have the steakhouse restaurant there. You might decide one evening that you and Cindy go for a steak. You might go there, and I think the cost there is like 40. From memory, it's $48 a person. You might spend that $48 for the two of you, and then on the ship, you then go out for dinner and have a good time. Or you might go and buy say a beer, so you can then get the beer on board the ship, and that money would come out of that onboard credit, that onboard pool, almost like having it. The best way to describe it would be almost like having a bank account on board the ship that you've got in credit, and then as you spend the money, so the amount goes down. The idea is to get off the ship with as much of the onboard credit as you possibly can. Philip is saying that he got an email from Princess to bid for an upgrade. The top suite on the Grand Princess has a fireplace. Really? A fireplace on the ship? Don't you go and light it, mate. You definitely sink the ship, and then we can't go on in March because you've sunk our ship. Philip is saying that he's going in one in January. Grand. I'm thinking it's the Grand Princess, isn't it? That you're going on. Yeah, you said Grand Princess. That's right. Okay, so James is agreeing. It sounds great. Yep. It does. It just makes life so much easier than carrying money. And then, for example, you might go to the restaurant and you might like the food, and then you put a tip on. So you can just add the tip there, or you can just go with the gratuities. Now, in your case, I think the gratuities are paid because I know who bought your ticket. Helping Hands for Cruising did. Any other questions while we've got maybe 5 minutes left, and then we're at the top of the hour. Um, excuse me. But to all intents and purposes, it just gives us a great opportunity to get on board the ship, have some fun, not worry about a thing. I know that some cruise lines are putting out their offers where if you book now, you get $100 onboard credit. Spend that on some drinks, or you spend that on a dinner, or whatever the case might be. It's going to be fun. So in our case, with our cruise, our onboard credits, some of that will go to the first night. We're going to be going to dinner with my parents, and we're going to the steakhouse restaurant. Hopefully, my sister's going to be there. So we'll see how we go. She might join us. Anyway, it's half the fun. Half the fun. Anyway, folks, we're coming into the top end. I might tail this down a bit early. Just to give you guys a heads up, on Friday night, your time at 10 p.m., Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m., Philip. We now go to 2 p.m. because of that daylight saving thing. 10 p.m. Friday night and 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon, we will be running our standard live stream, and we will be interviewing a couple of new cruisers. And we'll be hearing from them what are some of their questions, some of their concerns. And yes, it's going to be an awesome time. So, folks, we look forward to seeing you on the weekend. Take care. Have an awesome week of what's left. Stay safe and enjoy the seas. Take care now. Bye.